oriented. Abandoned, surrendered or orphan child can be adopted under the Juvenile Justice Act, and the purpose is to rehabilitate the child in the society, because it is always beneficial for the child to live in a family than living in an orphanage. So instead of keeping the child in the orphanage as an orphan or surrender or abandoned child, let a family be available to him. But since the guidelines, the procedure prescribed is very lengthy, and I believe that CARA agency is not actually very active. Restriction is that you cannot adopt more than a son and a daughter. You can adopt a son if you don't have your own son or your son's son or son's son. You can adopt a daughter if you don't have your own daughter or son's daughter. Otherwise, you cannot adopt. The restrictions which ma'am has told, all are there. But as far as adoption of orphan, abandoned and surrendered children are concerned, they can also be adopted under Hindu Minority and Guardianship Act. In Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act, there is an additional clause in section 2 which says that for the purpose of application of this act, an orphan, abandoned and surrendered child is a Hindu if he is brought up in a Hindu orphanage. So from there, from REA, you can say REA Anathalya, a child can be adopted under the Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act. But if the giver is not the parent, the child is orphan, abandoned or surrendered, in that case, that child can be given in adoption by the de facto guardian with the permission of the court. And why this permission of the court is required? The reason is, if you have your own parents, if a child has own parents, before giving the child in adoption to anybody, he will take care of the fact that what he or she is doing is correct for the child, is beneficial for the child. But if someone other than the parent is giving a child in adoption, then he, she or it may not be so careful about the rights of the child after adoption. That is why permission of the court is required, and court has to see to it that the person who is taking the child in adoption, first of all, it is not a case of sale. The person who is giving is not selling the child. Secondly, it will be for the benefit of the child. The person who is taking have the physical, mental, financial capacity to take care of that child. So all these things we are going to discuss during the course of this. Surrogacy is again a consequence of desire to have your own child. Ma'am has already explained the different kinds of surrogacies, different ways of surrogacies, and the bill which has been introduced, which has not yet been passed, which is meant to prohibit commercial surrogacy, and which is meant to regulate altruistic surrogacy. So with this, I think I must stop. Thank you very much.